Hare Krishna, Dandavat pranams to all the devotees. Thank you all for joining in. Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Gurave Gaurachandraya, Radhikaya Darale, Krishnaya, Krishna Bhaktaya, Tadbhaktaya, Namo Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam, Pangum Langayati Girim, Yatkrapatamaham Vande, Shri Gurun Dinatarinam, Paramananda Madhavam, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram, Harihi Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. So we are starting our session now with the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra with Srila Prabhupada. So let me quickly share my screen. We'll do a chanting and then we'll start with, continue with chapter 2 of Srila Prabhupada's book, Beyond Birth and Death. And then we will do Harinam Sankirtan. So that's the schedule for today. We should end by 1:55 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Okay. So thank you very much for joining in. Let me play Prabhupada's chanting. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine.
Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, someone can confirm? Oh, 1 second. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. 1 second, something happened. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhaktavinda.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So thank you all for joining in for today's session. We are on chapter number 2 of this book, Beyond Birth and Death. So we were seeing in our previous reading session, how Prabhupada is talking about the 3 levels of realization of the Supreme Absolute Truth. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti Shabdyate. And then here Prabhupada is also talking about which is the highest form of realization. The highest form of realization is the Bhagavan realization, because we get an opportunity to serve the Lord. When we get to serve the Lord, we have practical experience of this pleasure, of this kind of bliss that cannot be obtained whether one is has obtained this Brahman realization, because there is no bliss, there is not even an understanding or a proper knowledge of who we are. But in the Paramatma state, it's slightly better. We understand what is our position, but because we are not able to associate personally with the Lord, there is a chance of returning back to this material world. But once we realize the Bhagavan form of the Lord, the beautiful Nam, then we realize all of the features, right? From Nama we start, and then we realize the Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, Parivar, Madhurya, Dham, everything else of the Lord is automatically revealed to us. So this is what we need to understand, that the highest level of realization is the realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has a form just like us, but who is Satchit Ananda in eternity, in unlimited form, whereas we are Satchit Ananda in minuscule forms as the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. All right, so devotees can raise your hands now. Jyotsna Mataji, go ahead. It is of utmost importance from there.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Janvat Pranam.
Dhanavats.
It is of utmost importance, therefore, that we know the nature of our constitutional position. We want eternity, complete knowledge, and also pleasure. When we are left alone for a long time in the impersonal Brahma Jyoti, we cannot have pleasure, and therefore we accept the pleasure given by the material world. But in Krishna consciousness, real pleasure is enjoyed. In the material world, it is generally accepted that the highest pleasure is sex. This is perverted reflection of the sex pleasure in the spiritual world, the pleasure of association with Krishna. But we should not think that the pleasure there is life like the sex pleasure in the material world. No, it is different. But unless sex life is there in the spiritual world, it cannot be reflected here. Here it is simply a perverted reflection, but the actual life is there in Krishna, who is full of all pleasure. Therefore, the best process is to train ourselves now, so that at the time of death we may transfer ourselves to the spiritual universe, to Krishna Loka, and there associate with Krishna. In Brahma Samhita 5.29, Shri Krishna and his abode are described thus.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, that is the next section. So here, very beautiful, Prabhupada is saying, this chapter 15 of the Bhagavad Gita, the first verse, talks about Urdhva Moolam Adha Shakam, right? Urdhva Moolam Adha Shakam. That means in the spiritual world, the tree is a normal tree, is a proper tree, whereas the tree of the material world or this material universe itself is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. Wherein it is given the example, the analogy is given in the Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada explains in the purport of 15.1. He says that there is a tree in the banks. When we look at the tree's reflection in the water, what do we see? We see the roots are going upward. Urdhva Moolam, they are going up. And Adha Shakam. Adha Shakam means a shaka, or the branches are all going down. So this is not a real tree, but it seems to us that's the illusion that we're talking about. So this reflection is equal to the material world, whereas the actual tree which is there on the banks of the river, that is the actual tree which is the spiritual world. But we are unnecessarily being bewildered by this inverted tree that we find in this material world because of our illusion, because of which we always think that there is water, we'll just get it. It's like a donkey which is running with a carrot dangling, right? The donkey is thinking, now I will get, and starts running. But the carrot is dangling here. So the more the donkey is running, the carrot is also running in front. Never can he get the carrot like that. isn't it? Similarly, all of the illusory pleasures of this material world are also like that carrot. As much as we run behind them, we are never going to reach them, because the carrot is going to run even faster, because that is the illusion that is caused in our vision, that we are trying to enjoy this material world. Actually, real enjoyment is there in the spiritual world, where everybody is trying to engage in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in serving the Lord and pleasing the Lord really lies our own pleasure and our own happiness. That's what is given here in this verse. So what is the spiritual world? How is it like? What are the various things that are there in the spiritual world? That's what is explained in Brahma Samhita. Chintamani prakarasad masukalpa vriksha lakshavriteshu surabhira vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So this verse talks about how in the spiritual world, every song, every walk is a dance, every speech is a song, like that every word is a song, and millions and millions of Lakshmis are serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they themselves are deriving unlimited bliss simply by serving the Supreme Lord. Okay, so Leelandani Mataji, go ahead. I worship Govinda. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam. Hare Krishna, Dandavat.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows for fulfilling all desire in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of wish-fulfilling trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds and thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis. This is a description of Krishna Loka. The houses are made of what is called touchstone. Whatever touchstone touches immediately turns into gold. The trees are wish-fulfilling trees or desire trees, for one can receive from them whatever he wishes. In this world, we get mangoes from mango trees and apple from apple trees, but there from any tree, one can get whatever he desires. Similarly, the cows are called Surabhi and they yield an endless supply of milk. These are descriptions of the spiritual planets found in Vedic scriptures.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Haribol Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Haribol. So this is the description of the spiritual world. So we can see vis-a-vis our material world. Prabhupada is giving very beautiful example. In the material world, from a mango tree, you get only mango fruit. If from an, what do you call apple tree, you will get only apples. You cannot get anything different, right? But in the spiritual world, it is made of touchstone. Chintamani prakrasad kalpa vriksha. Right, Chintamani stones, everywhere there is touchstone. You touch the stone and yes, you express your desire. Lo and behold, your desire gets fulfilled. Similarly, desire trees, right? Wherever we are talking about one particular place where people go and tie strings around the tree and write down all their material desires. And it is said that that place, that particular tree actually fulfills all the desires. But in the spiritual world, every tree is a desire tree. We just need to just give out our desire and it will be fulfilled. Because all of them have the desire which is only to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no other desire for anybody for sense gratification, right? And that distinguishes, this attitude actually distinguishes between the material world and the spiritual world. In the material world also, we can have a spiritual consciousness when we have this desire simply to serve the Supreme Lord. So these are not just geographic bifurcations, right? It is more our consciousness bifurcation. How much of seva vritti we have developed, to that extent we are in the spiritual consciousness. How much of bhoga vritti or sense gratification we have, to that extent we have material consciousness. All right. So let's move forward. In the material world, hold read. Vrishabhanu Kanya Mataji, go ahead. Mataji, are you done? Yes, Hare Krishna. Yes.
Pranam.
Dandavats. In this material world, from there.
In this material world, we have become acclimatized to birth, death, and all sorts of suffering. Material scientists have discovered many facilities for sense enjoyment and destruction, but they have discovered no solution to the problems of old age, disease, and death. They cannot make any machine that will check death, old age, or disease. We can manufacture something that will accelerate death, but nothing that will stop death. Those who are intelligent, however, are not concerned with the fourfold miseries of material life, but with elevation to the spiritual planets. One who is continuously in trance means Nitya Yakshat
Yuktasya yoginah.
Yoginaha does not divert his attention to anything else. He is always situated in trance. His mind is always filled with the thought of Krishna without deviation. Satatam refers to anywhere.
Ananya Cheta Satatam.
Ananya Cheta Satatam.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Krishna also tells in Bhagavad Gita, right? Ananya Chintayanto Mam Yetana Padyupasate Tesham Nityabhyukthanam Yogakshemam Vahamiham. Ananya Chintayanto Mam. Krishna does not tell only in the morning Brahma Muhurta time you think of me, and the rest of the time you watch cricket match and then you watch serials. Right? So when whatever we are doing, the remaining 22 hours is going to affect our chanting. The other day we were discussing, right? Our consciousness is not independent, right? The morning time when we practice devotional service, we focus there. In the afternoon time, we watch movies, we focus there. No, it does not work like that. We are one human being and we have one consciousness. What is it that we want to? So we have to make a decision. We cannot walk on both the material line and spiritual line parallelly, right? Morning time spiritual, afternoon time material. No, it doesn't work like that, right? And that's why here Prabhupada is mentioning about how devotees fill their mind with the thought of Krishna without deviation. Ananya Cheta Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Yatantascha Dridavrataha Namasyantascha Mam Bhaktya Nitya Yukta Upasate. Nitya Yukta Upasate. That means Nitya means one is eternal. Nitya also means every day, eternally for the entire lifetime. We need to do upasate, worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Satatam Prabhupada says here, it refers to anywhere and any time. So there is no time, place, circumstance when we cannot worship or remember the Supreme Lord. And that is what we need to do. If you have to do Ananya Chintayantomam, we remember Krishna all the time. Then we have to saturate ourselves. This word was very beautifully described, right? We have to saturate ourselves with Krishna so much that we don't have time for anything. For Gramya Katha, we don't have time. Krishna Katha is taking so much of our time, our energy, that we don't have time for Gramya Katha to talk anything else. That is how we need to saturate our life with Krishna. When we do that, then at the time of death, when we have sufficiently practiced remembering Krishna, saturating ourselves with thoughts of Krishna, that at the time of death, we can't think of anything else other than Krishna. It becomes a natural consequence for a devotee to think of Krishna at the time of death. Yeah. Okay, let's move forward. Sindhu Mataji, please read. In India, I lived in Vrindavan. Prabhupada is saying. Yeah.
In India, I lived in Vrindavana, and now I am in America. And this does not mean that I am out of Vrindavana, because if I think of Krishna always, then I'm always in Vrindavana, regardless of the material designation. Krishna consciousness means that one always lives with Krishna on that spiritual planet, Golok Vrindavan, and that one is simply waiting to give up this material body. Smarati Nitya Saha means continuously remembering. And for one who's continuously remembering Krishna, the Lord becomes Tasyaham Sulabhaha, easily purchased. Krishna himself says that he is easily purchased by this Bhakti Yoga process. Then why should we take to any other process? We can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, 24 hours daily. There are no rules and regulations. One can chant in the street, in the subway, or at his home or office. There is no tax and no expense. So why not take to it? Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. So what is that? Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktish Tatra Arpita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Tavakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivam Idrisham Nihajani Nanuragaha. Right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling in the Shikshashtakam prayers. What is he saying? What is that? Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktish. Right? You have millions and thousands of names in which you have invested all of your transcendental potencies. Tatra arpita niyamita smaranena kalaha. There is no niyam. There are no rules and regulations. There is no kalaha. There is no time place where you cannot chant Hare Krishna. Right? Etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna, we can go back home, back to Godhead. We can go back to Krishna Loka. Right? Durdaivam idrisham ihajani nanu raga. But we are unfortunate. Right? Our unfortunate position is that such a simple method is given. But what is it? We are not able to get taste in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Right? What is that verse? Tasyaham sulabha partha. Very, very simple. Right? And then Prabhupada says, it is very difficult to be simple. Right? It is Krishna consciousness is very easy, but then it is difficult for us to become simple. That is the issue. Right? That's what is mentioned here. So it's very easy. Right? What is Ananya Cheta Satatam? The same verse where Prabhupada is continuing. Ananya Cheta Satatam. Always Cheta means consciousness. In our consciousness, if you always have Krishna, Yomam Smarati Nityasaha, one who remembers me all the time. Tasyaham Sulabha Partha, to such a person, I'm easily attainable. Nitya Yuktasya Yoginaha. Because of their constant absorption in me, I will enable them to always remember me. Right? This Mata Smriti Jnanam Apohanam is also given by the Krishna only. But Krishna will see our endeavor. How much is our desire to always remember the Lord? Then Krishna only gives us the power to remember him. By our endeavor, we cannot remember the Lord. Right? Especially at the time of death, when everything is imbalanced, right? We're not in consciousness. So how are we able to remember Krishna? How will the devotees be able to remember Krishna? Devotees can remember Krishna when the Lord is so merciful. The Lord will enable his remembrance. The Lord will especially enable his remembrance to those who have always remembered him throughout their life. Right? Ananya Cheta Satatam. Always remembering me. These people always think about me, glorify me. And in this way, I become easily attainable to them. They're constantly absorbed in their entire life in my remembrance. So at the time of death, I will give them my remembrance. So that is our only hope. That is why we practice Krishna consciousness. That is why we continuously chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By begging Lord Shri Krishna every time, please engage us in your service. Please engage me in your service. Please engage me in your service. I want to be completely absorbed in your service. This is our request. This is our begging to Lord Shri Krishna. And when Krishna is pleased, then he will fulfill Tathastu, right? Tathastu means so be it. When that is the blessing that we get, then we will be able to remember Krishna at the time of death. So that brings us to the end of the second chapter. Let's quickly go on to the third chapter of this beautiful book, Beyond Birth and Death. What is it? A liberation from material planets. Yeah. Okay, we'll read Navkishori Mataji. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. Thank you.
Yes.
The Gnanis and Yogis are generally impersonalist, and although they attain the temporary form of liberation by merging into the impersonal effulgence, the spiritual sky, according to the Srimad Bhagavatam, their knowledge is not considered pure by penance, austerities, and meditations. They can rise up to the platform of the Supreme Absolute. But as has been explained, they again fall down to the material world because they have not taken Krishna's personal features seriously. Unless one worships the lotus feet of Krishna, he again has to descend to the material platform. The ideal attitude should be, I am your eternal servitor. Please let me somehow engage in your service. Krishna is called Ajita, unconquerable, for no one can conquer God. But according to Srimad Bhagavatam, one with this attitude easily conquer the Supreme Srimad Bhagavatam. Also recommends that we give up this fertile process to measure the Supreme. We cannot even measure the limitations of space, or what to speak about speak of the Supreme. It is not possible to measure the length and breadth of Krishna by one's minuscule knowledge, and one who arrives at this conclusion is considered intelligent by Vedic literature. One should come to understand submissively that he is very insignificant segment of the universe, abandoning the endeavor to understand the Supreme by limited knowledge or mental speculation. We should become submissive and hear of the Supreme through authoritative sources, such as the Bhagavad Gita, or through the lips of a realized soul. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Very wonderful. Very wonderful, this section by Prabhupada, isn't it? One cannot understand, right? By one's own mental speculation, one cannot understand. What is that verse? Nirvanno. What is that? What is that verse? It's skipping my mind. Right? With our own endeavor, we cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sevon mukhehi jiva adau swayam eva suratyada. So, right? Swayam eva suratyada. So, the only way by which we can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead is by engaging our senses in the service of the Lord, and the Lord reveals himself to us. Right? By our own endeavor, by our own endeavors to serve the Lord, we cannot try to understand the Lord. We cannot depend. Even we were talking about Yashoda Maya also. How endeavor and mercy go hand in hand. When by our endeavors, when we please the Lord so much, that such a devotee is so sincere, right? Radharani will definitely come in the purview of Radharani. When we are very sincere in rendering devotional service, when we are working for the pleasure of the Lord, when we have no ulterior motives of material sense gratification, then we will come under the purview of Srimati Radharani, who will recommend us to Krishna. And then they would reveal themselves to us. Swayam eva suratyadaha. They will reveal themselves to us. That is our only way. Otherwise, we cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by our own intelligence, right? Otherwise, what is this material intelligence? It is useless, right? Sometimes it is not even useful to attain some of the material benefits, right? We are all subject to those 4 defects, right? We make mistakes, we have imperfect senses, and then we cheat people, we do so many mistakes. So given that, with our minuscule knowledge, which is material, how much can we understand? We can't even understand how the material world functions, right? When the first and the second canto talks about Sarga, Visarga, right? Head is spinning. 5th canto talks about Bharata Varsha and all of that, right? How the world is created, divided, mountains and this and that. Head is reeling, cannot understand anything. So, very simple. We should keep ourselves very simple. What is it? Simply by engaging in the service of the Lord will reveal whatever it is I need to understand and learn to advance in bhakti. Krishna will give me smriti, jnanam and apohanam. Accordingly, what is necessary for me to advance in devotional service. And how does that attitude come? Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. See, our foundation lies, the foundational principles are the same. Whether we are studying Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, any of the books of Prabhupada, the foundational principle is the same. Spiritual knowledge can be acquired only by submissive authority, by submissively surrendering unto the authority who's coming in a bona fide Guru Parampara, and very, very submissively serving them, inquiring from them. And they can teach us the truth because they have realized the absolute truth, right? Irrespective, there can never be a time when we can say that I've become so much of a devotee that I don't need any association, I don't need the mercy of Guru, I don't have to hear from my Guru. Then such a person is already fallen. And then actual falling down is only a detail, right? We've already fallen down when we think that I know everything. Right? Because the more a person advances in Krishna consciousness, the more the person is going to develop humility. That is a test for ourselves. Right? If we think I know everything, what is the purpose of attending the class? Govardhan Leela, I know. Damodar Leela, I know. Why should I go and attend the class? Then we know, we should already know that I am already fallen. Right? And then now, am I not attending the class? Everything are only details. Right? Which is going to make it evident for us that we are going to fall down. But it all begins in the mind. It all begins in the consciousness. What is my consciousness? Am I eager to hear about Krishna? Am I eager to serve Krishna? Am I eager to speak about Krishna? Am I eager to be in the association of devotees to do machitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam? Am I interested in joining the classes to understand about Krishna? That is the attitude which comes only with humility. If we have the I know all attitude, then we can never be humble, we can never be submissive, we can never really understand the purport of what Prabhupada has given here, whether it is Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, or whether it is the beginning books like, Beyond Birth and Death, Science of Self-Realization, whatever books, Krishna, the Krishna consciousness, the matchless gift, right? We can understand everything if we just read one book of Srila Prabhupada, but with proper consciousness. Why are we reading so much yet we cannot understand? Because our consciousness is so much polluted with aham mameti, with our sense to control everything, knowing, with the false ego, trying to enjoy, the false ego, trying to understand everything by our own mental speculation. All of that is a blockage. But the more we hear about Krishna, the more we read Srila Prabhupada's books, then what happens? All of these external barriers, the layers that we've created in our heart that prevent our heart from understanding the absolute truth, all those layers are slowly getting removed, cut. That's what the Guru does, right? It is said that Guru cuts, right? Chiddanti, chindanti, like that. So the Guru cuts all the knots. That is why we need to submit to the Guru. Hearing about God from Guru will cut all the unnecessary anarthas in our heart. And in this way, we'll be able to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead properly. The Lord will reveal himself to us like that. Okay, who will read? Okay, 147. One last paragraph somebody can read and then we can conclude. Anyone wants to read? Okay, Sarva Gopeshri Mataji, go ahead. In the Bhagavad Gita,
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandapram. In the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is hearing about God from the lips of Sri Krishna himself. In this way, Arjuna set the great trend for understanding the Supreme by submissive hearing. It is our position to hear the Bhagavad Gita from the lips of Arjuna or his bona fide representative. The spiritual master, the bona fide representative, the spiritual master. After hearing, it is necessary to practice the accurate knowledge in daily life. My dear Lord, you are unconquerable. The devotee prays, but by this process, by hearing, you are conquered. God is unconquerable, but the devotee prays, but by this process, by hearing, you are conquered. God is unconquerable, but he is conquered by the devotee who abandons mental speculation and listen to authoritative sources. According to...
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. We'll end here. Hare Krishna. Beautiful. Yeah. Ajita Jito. In Bhagavatam, it talks about how the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Ajita. Right? Or what is Ajita? Ajita means somebody who cannot be conquered. But he becomes Jito. He becomes conquered when a devotee actually hears about him from a bona fide authority and in this way gets a proper understanding in his heart. When the transcendental knowledge is revealed in his heart, then Krishna becomes very pleased. Right? You all have read that pastime of Gopakumara when he actually in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita by Sanatana Goswami. He beautifully describes the journey of Gopakumar. He goes from one place to another, finding out who is the best devotee, And finally, when he reaches Krishna, and Krishna is saying, "How I waited so long for you to come." And Krishna leaves everything, comes and hugs him. So Krishna is actually waiting for us to go back home, back to Godhead. The Lord who is unconquerable, he is willing to allow himself to be conquered. But he's only waiting whether the people of this material world somehow turn towards him and are able to and are willingly, right? He doesn't want to force our free will, right? We have our free will. We decide what we want to do. But Krishna will Krishna will give us all the intelligence. Krishna will give us all the facilities to remember the Lord, provided that is our desire. If our desire is to please the Lord, Krishna will help us with all the facilities by which we can remember him, by which we can please him, by which we can serve him in a way that pleases him. Right? So Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So let's quickly have a darshan of devotees and then we'll do Harinam Sankirtan today. Karpagavali Mataji is there, Shobha Mataji is there, yeah. Suprabha Sumitra Mataji, Sarva Gopeshwari Mataji. Okay, who else do we have today? Vrishabhanu Kanya Mataji is there, Nav Kishori Mataji is there, and then Purna Mataji is there, Moshmi Mataji, Sindhu Mataji is there, Sridhar Prabhu is there. All right. Hare Krishna. Raja Lakshmi Mataji is there. Hari Bol. Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. We'll quickly do Harinam Sankirtan for about 3-4 minutes. Devotees who have to log out may do so. Just about 2-3 minutes of Harinam Sankirtan will end our session. Namah Om Vishnupadaya Vishnupristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pratarine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Achyatyadeeshatadine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Gurudev Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol श्रीयाम संकीर्तन की जय जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद श्री गुरुदेव की जय अनंत गौजी वैष्णव वृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल Hare Krishna. So everyone can mute themselves now. Anyone wants to ask any question or share anything, then you may do so. Otherwise, we can end the session. Meet you all for Brahma Murta chanting tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock Indian Standard Time, and then we meet at 12:45 again, between 12:45 and 1. Okay. Hare Krishna. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Yes,
Mataji, Haribol.
Yes,
Mataji, so far, how many books you have covered?
I think we covered about 4 or 5 books.
Names, Mataji?
Mataji, there is no, it's not a, I can give you the names, I can put it in the group. But see, every book of Prabhupada, right? It's not that we want to, every one book of Prabhupada also, if you're able to hear with attentiveness, and more importantly, if you're able to apply those principles in our life will be successful. So yeah, I think we've done 3-4 books. I can just message me, Mataji, on my WhatsApp. I can give you the books we've completed. So yeah, so we've done, I think, Krishna Consciousness, the Matchless Gift, Krishna Consciousness, Topmost Yoga System, and then
Lilamrita is over, no?
Prabhupada Lilamrita, that's what we started with. We started with Prabhupada Lilamrita only.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we've done the small books. 3-4 books, and then currently we're doing Beyond Birth and Death. So you send me a WhatsApp message, I will reply back to you. But more important than covering all of the books of Prabhupada, it's of course we want to do that. We intend to do that. Cover all of the books of Prabhupada, because Prabhupada has spent so much time and energy and sitting late hours. He's written all these books, so we want to cover all of the books. But one thing you should keep in mind that even if we read one book of Prabhupada, one chapter of Srila Prabhupada's books, we should try to see how much of that we can implement in our life. That is a perfection. Okay, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Next one, which one you are going to take?
Huh?
Next, which one you are going to take?
I don't know. I will have to check. But this book has got a couple of chapters. So now we are on chapter 3 only. So we'll take it as it comes, Mataji. Okay, Mataji?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
All right. Hari Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Guruji ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Yeah, someone was saying something?
Yes, it's Priyanka here, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, I wanted to ask you about Ekadashi fasting, right? The next day, why are we supposed to break the fasting to the particular timing?
Yeah, so it is written in the Shastras, Mataji, that our Ekadashi fast will yield the desired benefit only when we break our fast in the parent time. Right? There is also this pastime between Durvasa Muni and Ambarish Maharaj, wherein the importance of breaking the fast within that parent time is described. That Ambarish Maharaj was fasting even without water. But there is a principle that when a guest comes home, we need to serve the guest first before we have prasadam. That is one principle that we have to follow. The second principle is, of course, on a Dwadashi day, we have to break fast at a particular parent time that is given. Only then our Ekadashi is said to be complete. Only then, only if it is completed, it will give pleasure to the Lord. We are following Ekadashi to the pleasure of the Lord, right? So in this way, when Ambarish Maharaj had a confusion because Durvasa Muni along with his disciples had gone to take bath and he had not returned before the parent time. And then he asked the sages and they told him that if you drink water, it is because he was doing a complete fast. If you drink water, it is amounting to breaking the fast and not breaking the fast. So in this way, he let go of a lower principle in order to satisfy the Lord. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. To please the Lord, that principle we need to follow. So that is laid on in the Shastras that for the pleasure of the Lord, we need to break our fast within specific timings. And the timings varies according to different locations. That's why in Mumbai, it might be a particular time. In Dubai, it might be a particular time. In Pune, it may be a different time. So we need to check that, and then we need to break our fast with that. In case we're doing nirjal, we can break fast with water. In case we're doing phala ahar, then we break fast with normal grains prasadam like that. Okay.
And what about if you're fasting the next day also, like you're
No,
fasting?
there is no fasting to be done on Dwadashi day.
Okay.
Sometimes the Ekadashi fast itself, like on Vamana Dwadashi, we did Ekadashi fasting on Vamana Dwadashi day because it is prescribed in the Vaishnava calendar. So in that case, what happens? We fast on that particular day, but then the actual Dwadashi fast or the breaking of the Ekadashi fast happens on Trayodashi. But that is prescribed. So we just follow the Vaishnava calendar, because we don't have the intelligence to understand the timings and how it is calculated and all that. So we simply follow our local Vaishnava calendar and then we follow our Ekadashi and Dwadashi Vrata. Okay?
And the last question, Mataji, Tulsi leaves, we are not supposed to pluck on Ekadashi day, but can we pluck a day after Ekadashi day?
Yeah, we should not pluck on Ekadashi day, but we should have sufficient Tulsi so that we don't pluck on Ekadashi and Dwadashi day, because Tulsi Maharani is also fasting on Ekadashi. So so we don't want to trouble Tulsi Maharani by plucking her leaves, right? On Dwadashi day you can do it, but we don't do it on Dwadashi day also, right? Because like it is said that we should have enough. What I do is generally I have a lot of Tulsi leaves which I keep in the fridge in one box. So that box is always full because we have our Shaligram Shilas also. So offer Tulsi to Shaligram Shila. We have 4 Shaligram Shilas. And then we offer, every boga also we offer Tulsi leaf, right? So it's always good to always have a box full of Tulsi leaves in the fridge because we always will need Tulsi. So in that way, we can avoid on Ekadashi, Dwadashi and all the fasting days. It's better that we don't pluck Tulsi leaves.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam.
All right. Hare Krishna. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Pranam Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hari
एक क्वेश्चन
Bol.
पूछे क्या? हरि बोल.
टाइम हो गया।
वो जो
चलो
जगन्नाथपुरी में वो जो छोटे छोटे बैग में चावल मिलती है ना, उससे उपवास तोड़ते हैं ना हम लोग।
हाँ, that is Jagannath rice also. Yeah, that is the best to actually fast with Jagannath rice.
Because I always keep it in lump sum whenever I go.
Yeah. Correct. That's the best way.
पूछना था।
हाँ, पूछिए माता जी, निशा माता जी।
हाँ, दंडवत प्रणाम माता जी। वो आपने कहा कि ठाकुर जी अपना वेट करते हैं, इंतजार करते हैं भगवान। आपने कहा आज कि भगवान अपना इंतजार करते हैं।
हाँ, भगवान मैंने बोला था कि भगवान को द लॉर्ड इज नॉट इन नीड ऑफ एनी फूड। भगवान भावाग्रही जनार्दन है ना, सो द लॉर्ड इज वेटिंग फॉर अस टू ऑफर आवर सर्विसेज, राइट? व्हेन वी आर फास्टिंग वी डोंट मेक द लॉर्ड आल्सो फास्ट. द लॉर्ड डज नॉट नीड टू फास्ट एकादशी व्रता, right? But in our consciousness we tell the Lord, oh Lord, I'm offering you all this, because even I offer only ekadashi bhoga in my home on ekadashi days. But we can tell the Lord, oh Lord, but we can make one sweet item, or one an aloo paratha, or whatever we goes down the throat, it has to be prasadam, and what is prescribed for the day, right? But if we otherwise what we can also do is we can have nice sweets prepared and stored in our refrigerator, right? Those sweets we can offer to the Lord, and we can honor it the next day if it is non-ekadashi sweets like laddu, or some ribbon pakoda and all those things. We can keep it ready, and we can offer to the Lord, and we can still consume it the next day, prasadam. But we cannot honor it on the same day, right? The Lord need not fast. The fasting is for us. Okay, निशा माता जी।
ओके, दंडवत प्रणाम। मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि मतलब भगवान अपना इंतजार करते हैं, ऐसा आपने कहा था कि भगवान अपना इंतजार करते हैं।
हाँ, भगवान, that's what I was telling the passing of Gopakumar, right? The Lord is waiting for all of us to go back home. More than हमारा जो इंटरेस्ट है भगवान की धाम जाने के लिए, that is more of यहाँ पे इतना सफरिंग है इसलिए मुझे गोलोक धाम जाना है। लेकिन भगवान का क्या है? He wants the entire world to come and be in the spiritual world. He does not want any of us to suffer. So the Lord is waiting eagerly for us. That's why we take one step, the Lord takes million steps towards us. Okay?
Okay, दंडवत प्रणाम।
इंतजार कर रहे हैं भगवान, तो we have to fulfill the Lord's desire and go back home, back to Godhead. Okay?
Okay, धन्यवाद, प्रणाम, दंडवत प्रणाम।
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
हरे कृष्णा।